All right, Larry Krueger with the Pig in a Pickle Krug Show 49er update. John Lynch spoke today with Murph and Marcus on the KNBR Morning Show, and we're going to go into everything that he said right here. All right, let's get right into it. The conversation started. They said, hey, John, last week you guys got a nice win back east. John said, yeah, it was a great trip. I visited my girls. He's got some girls going to school back there. And then he's like, hey, man, we played well. We played well against the New York Giants, and we're looking forward to playing the Rams. We're 6-3. And John was in a good mood this morning. Absolutely. And then Murph asked him about, man, you guys lost Mykel Williams. And why didn't you guys make a trade to improve the D line? And he's like, well, yeah, I'm losing Mykel is a absolute, tough shot. I mean, John believes he was close to producing more sacks, more tackles, called him a great kid, wise beyond his years, said it was a clean ACL tear. And now Bosa and him are both trying to do the rehab together. And John took solace in the fact that now Mykel at least will have Nick there to help him through the rehab. And as far as the trades, he's like, hey, man, we've been working on it. He's like, we're top 4 in trades made this year. No excuses, but we're top 4 in trades made this year. And then he said, hey, man, you love to be, he says you have to be disciplined. You can't overextend. And other teams wanted more than the Niners wanted to pay. He said we weren't going to get fleeced. Simple as that. Didn't want to get fleeced. Said he would have extended if it was a difference maker. Didn't see a difference maker out there. We don't know what he had in front of him, so we can't really evaluate it. We just have to take him at his word. But he said, hey, you got to be disciplined. You can't overextend. He likes that they got Keon White. He says we have a lot of belief in the D-line group that we have right now. We'll see because, the 49ers sack total since Bosa went out and pressure rate and, sack percentage, it's all bottom of the league. So we'll see if the Niner D-line, if that belief is warranted or not. But he says, hey, man, we believe in our D-line group. We weren't going to get fleeced. We would have extended for a real difference maker. We didn't see that out there. We feel like Bryce Huff returning gives us a true difference maker. So that was pretty much it. That's how he addressed the trade, the lack of trades at the deadline, at least from the Niner perspective. I think Niner fans were disappointed. He went on to say, hey, we love our team. And as far as the discontent of the fans and the media, he's like, we love our fans' passion. What else are you going to say? Your passionate fans are all you got as a team. You're going to sit there and go against your most passionate fans. Our passionate fans are effing idiots. I mean, he's never going to say that. But he did say, I love our fans' passion. And he says, we love our team. So there you go. As far as Keon White and how he did in this game against the Giants, John said he was really good. He could play outside. He could play inside. He's got a lot of skills for our system. He was impactful in the game, is what John said. And the reason the Keon White thing was such a slam dunk is that it just scheme. He's not a scheme fit. He's a one-gap penetrate and go guy, whether he's 280, 285, 290, 270. He's a big defensive end who can play a little bit inside and can be stunted in, stunted out. He's a 4-man front, one-gap penetrate and go guy. Get up the field. That fits the wide 9. That fits the 49ers. That did not fit the Patriots 3-4. He's not a 2-gapper down lineman absorbing offensive lineman. He's not a stand-up outside linebacker dropping into coverage. So it's really just he wasn't a fit there. He is a fit here, and immediately he hit the ground running. So that was good to see. John was asked, hey, what about the status of some of these rookies? Marquise Siegel was inactive. CJ West was inactive. Nick Martin hasn't done much. Are you disappointed kind of a thing? And John pushed back aggressively. He's like, hey, man, Marquise Siegel has already made great contributions. CJ West, he says, has already made great contributions. He said, hey, we needed 5 defensive ends up to rush the quarterback as Dart moves around. So that means we had to have 1 less tackle, and that meant CJ West was inactive. But there's no discontent. They love these guys. As far as Nick Martin, I loved what John said. He said he's going to be a really good football player, and I can absolutely speak to that as well. I think Nick Martin is going to be – I would not be surprised if Nick Martin 2 years from now is the best player from this draft class, from the 49ers draft haul. Would not be surprised at all. And yet people are saying, oh, he's a bust. He can't do this. He can't do that. Really? Time's gonna make those comments look bad. But John's like, hey man, we think it's a fantastic class. We love our class. We love our rookies. We love our draft class. We think it's a huge success. As far as CMC, the guy said, hey, CMC's got the most touches in the NFL. And he didn't speak anything about the overuse or using CMC up 2 scores in the fourth quarter inside of the 4-minute mark when you probably should just run anybody else, considering that CMC is indispensable. But he went on to kind of filibuster on Brian Robinson, saying that he's getting a rhythm going, that he did a nice job as a kick returner on special teams, and that he's making a positive contribution, and they really like Brian Robinson. And they've got Garendo in a special teams role, but basically they don't trust Garendo, and ultimately they don't trust Robinson. That's why Christian McCaffrey is carrying the ball at the end of games. It's really as simple as that. And it's, we can talk about it and tap dance around it and say whatever we want, but that's the fact. He was asked about the quarterbacks, and they're just holding with this, Purdy's progression is continuing. Max playing at a really high level. You want to know about the Niners and how they feel about the quarterbacks and where they're. Give me a status update on the quarterbacks. There it is. There it is. For those who don't feel like the question gets asked enough, those who don't feel like the media is pressed enough, there's the question. There's the answer. What's the update on the 49er quarterbacks? Purdy's progressing. His progression is continuing, though no timeline on him, no specifics on his status, no word on why it's okay for him to practice but not play. We'll see where this goes. Steve Young's like, Brock's going to have to force his way back out there. I don't know. At this point, we don't know. We don't know if the Niners are pushing Brock to play and he doesn't want to play and not ready to play, or if he's pushing them to play and they're saying, hey, we don't think you're ready to play. We don't know any of the dynamics at play. All we know is what they tell us, which is that Brock's turf toe is progressing and he's getting closer to playing, and that Mac's playing at a really high level. Sounds to me like they're going to ride Mac to the bye week, and then they're going to try to get Purdy out there after the bye week for the final stretch of the year. That would be my guess, but that is just a guess and nothing informed on that. Just my insights from being there every day. Couple other things. He was asked about Trent Williams, and he said, man, the last 3 games for Trent have been outstanding. A lot of people were trying to throw, dirt on Trent's grave and say that he was done and all this. Eventually the people who say you're done are eventually going to be right. You know what I mean? Whether they're saying it about me, saying it about you, saying it about Trent, anybody who wants to say you're done, eventually we're all done. Okay. Eventually you're going to be proven correct, but not yet. Trent Williams is still playing at a really high level, and John indicated as much in this interview. A couple last things before we get out of here. He was asked about the Rams, and he's like, hey, man, they're running the ball well. The Rams are using a lot of 13 personnel, which is 3 tight ends, 1 back. He said that Stafford's playing really well. He said he's never looked better. He looks healthy. So much for his injuries. He said they've got a great, deep, talented defensive front. And then John sent the message to the faithful. We need Levi's to be rocking on Sunday. And there's no question about that. If the Niners are going to beat the Rams, they need Levi Stadium to be loud when Stafford has the ball. They need the momentum of the home crowd in this game. The Rams are rolling in. They're playing great. The 49ers are stumbling. They're beat up. They're just trying to survive. The Niners need their fans. The Niners need their crowd. If you're watching this, show up, be on time, get in your seat, and be freaking loud when the Rams have the ball. That's how you can help your team win this weekend. I really do think the fans can have an impact. And John also talked about Brandon Aiyuk and his timeline. And John pointed out, hey, man, this guy suffered. I mean, listen, now we're getting real. People were talking week 1. He'll be back week 1, possibly. There's some talk that he'll be back. Well, who was saying that? Because those people were lying. This guy suffered a catastrophic injury. Any timeline that had him coming back in less than a calendar year was absolutely bullshit. And the fact that he may not get back at all. I said Thanksgiving. I'm going to be wrong. He's probably not going to get back at all this year. Some people think he'll never play another down for the Niners, that he won't play this year, that they'll trade him in the offseason. All John would say is, hey, catastrophic injury. He's working hard. It's a long process. We're getting close to opening his practice window. When they do, they'll have 3 weeks to activate him, or he goes on season-ending IR. So there you have it. John Lynch has spoken. That's what he said today. A lot to digest there. Some good stuff. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sleeper. That's right. This entire football season is presented on the Krug Show by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time chat. We should probably put this up there. There we go. Sleeper on the board there. Real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper Picks for daily fantasy. Use the promo code Larry, and we'll put this up there as well. Use the promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. Emeryville, Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to all of you. Have a great day. And you are now fully updated on all your Niners news. And we'll have more later today from Santa Clara. Once again, thanks for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.